2020, the year of the game jam. Everyone was doing them. Your dad, your mum, your sister, your auntie Margaret, everyone. It was raining cats and game jams. It was the thing to do. It was the cool thing to do. And I missed all of them. Every single one. And I always wanted to do one. Like, I think they're cool and I like watching videos about them. It's just finding the time and spacing that out to dedicate an entire weekend to do this thing. It's just not something that I can't do. So I had an idea. 24-hour total game dev time challenge. The rules are simple. Make a game, a complete game, menu, sound, everything, in 24 hours total game dev time. That way I can kind of space it out to, like, I don't have to rush and get it all done in a weekend. I can take my time and walk at my normal pace just with a timer and make sure the game is small and keep it scoped small. And it worked out really well. I really liked it. But before we get into the video, look at this graph. Everyone else is showing their graphs. Look at my graph. It's not fair. Look at that. It's ridiculous. Show me some love. Let's jump into it. Hello. Welcome. It's me, Aaron from the past, because I haven't made the intro yet. I hope it was good. Let me know. Put a comment below if you think it was good. And here I am trying to figure out how am I going to make this video, because I don't know how to make videos yet. So what I've actually done is I've taken all of the footage from making the game and I've made a time lapse of it. So I've multiplied it by like 10,000% and gotten the whole thing down to 24 minutes. So I think what we're going to do is watch the video and I'll react and talk about what I'm doing and hopefully we end up with something somewhat entertaining and educational. I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to go. I haven't looked at this yet, and a lot of this is actually from quite a while ago because I haven't been making this video because I'm lazy. So yeah, let's just get this started because 24 minutes, it's going to be a long video. Let me take a drink. So the game that I'm making is Missile Command. I wanted something simple, I guess, and I don't know why Missile Command just popped into my head as this really old arcade game that I thought I could achieve, and I thought it might be fun to do. So that's what we're making, and also I wanted to kind of focus on a mobile game, so that's why it's like a portrait aspect, which I probably shouldn't have even bothered doing because it really does limit the space a little bit and limits what you'll be able to do. But the game ended up really good. You'll see at the end of this. I was really happy with how the game worked out, to be honest. So right now, I think what I'm trying to figure out is the rotation of this cannon, because I just cannot for the life of me get like rotation logic figured out ever. Like I can't figure out which one do I rotate? I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out and get the cannon rotating the way I want it to rotate. Probably is what I'm doing for the first hour. And then trying to get missiles to shoot out of the cannon, obviously. Yeah, so now I'm getting the missiles shooting out of the cannon. Everything's very big here. I end up shrinking it down a lot because it was just too big. Originally, I was thinking the bullets would be big, and then, the bullets would collide with each other and kill each other. But even when they were really big, it was super difficult to do. So what I had to do was, I looked at Missile Command and figured out what they do, and it's like, Missile Command has explosions that happen, and then if a missile hits the explosion, it explodes, and you end up this nice like chain reaction of explosions. So that's the effect I ended up going with. And what you're seeing now is me using something called Lean Tween, which is this great tool. It's free on the asset store, so I recommend it to anybody. And what it is for is doing like really simple animations. You can use it for. So you can, for example, here I'm scaling over time using an animation curve, and it just it's one line of code, super simple to use. Maybe I'll put little pictures up in the corner that you can see of so you're not just looking at this mad blur of things happening. But yeah, so I ended up with this really nice scaling explosion effect, which I really liked. And then looks like I've already gotten it done, but then the next thing was getting the bullets to fall down from the sky along the axis and come towards me. and we're getting some health done right now. So this is really just the basic game loop, really. So we want to be able to, you know, shoot missiles, destroy the enemy missiles, and lose health was my first objective here. And I think we're about to get a break very soon where I'll get to show you all of that. Hopefully coming quite soon. What I'm doing there is I'm adding in ammo. So the game was quite easy. If you could just spam shoot. Oh, here we are. Now we're in a nice break. So the game was quite easy when you spam shooting. So what I wanted to do was give them like some kind of thing to hold them back, and it also worked well for a nice upgrade later on that you could purchase to increase your ammo limit. So right now it's limited to 3 bullets in the casing, but you could get it up to a max of 6, which you'll be seeing at the very end of this. And then is there anything here I haven't talked about? So the bullets are actually just really tiny sprites with a line renderer behind it. So that's where you get this really nice trail effect. I was really happy with it. And then the explosions themselves are just circle sprites that are getting scaled using lean tween. And you end up with and I was at this is about 4 hours into the challenge, and I was really happy with the progress I had made. Those little green squares at the bottom is my health. So if the missiles pass the bottom of the screen, I lose health. Obviously temporary. The actual animation on that cannon is temporary as well. I just wanted to add something in to see how it would look. That's something I already drew. So after this, I'm going to be drawing my own new cannon for the challenge, because obviously I want everything to be done from scratch, or at least as much of it as possible. If I can do it from scratch, I'm going to do it from scratch. But yeah, and the code for the bullets is generic as well. So the enemy missiles and my missiles are the same code wise. So you end up with this nice I can't think of the word, like a I don't know. I can't do English right now. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But you know, it was just super quick and efficient to implement the bullets, because they were reused code, and I accidentally ended up with like in a really nice situation where you could create these chain reactions. So if like multiple bullets collide with each other, and it flows up, and it was just really good. I was really happy with how it turned out. And I think this break is about to end. We should be jumping. Maybe I'll skip ahead just a tiny tinsy wincy bit, because this. Oh God, good thing I'm skipping ahead. Oh come on, dude! Don't be so good at the game. Yeah, here we go. So as I said, up next is trying to create a cannon, and I was trying to lean on this like futuristic feel. Let me get that bar out of here. I was trying to lean on this kind of futuristic feel for the game. So I was thinking like in my head I was imagining this like a railgun, like a sci-fi railgun type dealio. So I'm trying to get the animation working and something that kind of has a bit of oomph to it, and it's okay. I think I actually liked that placeholder cannon I had first. It just had a little bit more juice to it than this cannon does. But it does fit the aesthetic a little bit more than the cannon, I guess. So I'm adding that in and getting that animation set up and trying to figure out how is it going to look. I think that's really all I'm doing right now, is really just trying to focus on some aesthetic. Trying to make sure the animation, trying to figure out how do I make the animation pop a little bit and get this looking kind of okay. And I think what I ended up with was just something that was kind of okay. And yeah, that is the ammo counter. So I'm trying to integrate the ammo counter into the sprite as well, but it ends up being way too small. So what I had to do was I had to scale that little ammo sprite up to the very size of the gun, which it doesn't look too bad. It's not great, but you know, we don't have much time for this kind of adjustment, so I just went with what we had. And Oh, now I'm jumping into post-processing. So I wanted to use post-processing as like an easy way to make the game look less shit. You know, and it really is great if you get into it. And I'd never used it before, so this was a great excuse for me to use it. And it worked out really nicely, actually. I'm trying to get some particle effects in, but I end up not using them because I just couldn't get the effect that I wanted. I didn't want to spend too much time on this because I spent quite a lot of time on the post-processing itself and getting everything done. So I think what I ended up with in the end is literally just I had a nice vignette around the screen, like you can see it. You can see the little black gradient coming in, and then I had a just adding some bloom and some color correction to it as well. And it just made everything just pop that little bit more, and I really liked it. Once I had it turned on, I couldn't turn it off. It just looked so good compared to it. And now I'm just adding in what was supposed to be a placeholder for the health bar, but I end up keeping it in. So it ends up just being this like this just garbage fucking health bar that I really didn't like. But I just didn't have time to get back and fix it. It was all part of the plan, but I just didn't figure it out in the end. So what I end up with is this kind of this clunky bar, and then but when the bar goes down, the color fades, I guess, from green to red, which was kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out the hell to make that look good. Yeah, but what I end up with is just what you see. Oh, and here's another break. So in the beginning, I had the score counter on the top. I had that in the center because I thought it would look cool, but it was just a bit intrusive, so I ended up putting that in the top corner. And yeah, so all you see really different here is that we have the health bar on the bottom, the scores now being captured, the high scores now being captured, and there's some post-processing to make it look kind of juicy. I like it. As well, if you look at the score as it increases, there's a little pop that happens. That's also with lean tween. You know, I really use that tool probably too much to be honest, but it just makes things like that so easy, and it just really adds like a nice little bit of juice to the effect. If it was just going up, I don't think it would feel as nice, but I like how it turned out quite a bit. Let's skip ahead a little bit now again. We don't want to spend too much time on this type of stuff. Oh, here we go. So next up, what I wanted to do was, come on, dude, get it done. All right. So next up, what I wanted to focus on was get the menus done early, because that's the type of thing I would always leave to the last minute, and then it ends up being really, really crappy. So I just wanted to get them done now. I thought it would be a nice point to get them in. And I noticed with the bloom effect, I ended up with this nice like neon glow on just white. So these are just white sprites, but the bloom from the post-processing is making them like this really nice poppy blue, or neon blue, I guess. And so I really leaned on that a lot with the design of the UI, and I was really happy with how it looked. I think that looks kind of cool. There's a UI pack I'm using that as well, that I got from a bundle a long time ago, but it's just a lot of basic shapes and some icons and stuff. So that's where I get all my icons and these basic shapes for the menus. And this is another tool I have called device preview, or a universal device preview, and so it's pretty essential if you want to make mobile games, I gotta say. So it'll give you the resolution of every phone and let you kind of compare it on phones and make sure that your canvas is set up correctly, because that can really fuck you over if you don't set it up correctly. So yeah, universal device preview. Always check it out and make sure it's looking okay. What we're doing now. So now I'm looking at the main menu. Oh, and I spent so long on the main menu. I spent way too long, and all I needed was a play button in the center of the screen. But what I thought it'd be cool to have the game play itself while you're looking at the main menu. So I got the Canon I put like some AI for the cannon to shoot the missiles, and it turned into like, it was a pretty cool effect in the end. But just, a challenge like this, I shouldn't be spending so much time on stuff like that. But I was happy with it. I was happy with it in the end. I thought it worked out really nicely. So yeah, so when you launch, you're gonna see just the play button, and the cannon is shooting missiles coming down, and when you press play, the score and the health bar kind of animate in. And it was a really nice effect. I was quite happy with it. I thought it was pretty cool. Spent way too long on it though, like 4 hours on it or something like that. But I don't know. It adds something to it, I guess. Yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still figuring out the main menu right now. And then on the play button as well, for some reason I wanted it to kind of like flicker, like a neon light flickering on and off, to try and get your attention. Yeah, and then the game, I called it Cannon Defense because I couldn't think of anything better, and that never changed. So it's called Cannon Defense, which is a terrible name, seeing as it's not a cannon, it's like a railgun. But yeah, that's what I kept it as. Yeah, still trying to figure out the AI for the or for the main menu. Let me have a look to make sure everything is looking okay over here. Yeah, I look good. When I got that done, looks like. So now we're moving on to sound effects, and I'm really bad at sound. Okay, really bad at it. I'm pretty tone deaf. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So yeah, so I'm looking for sound and music and stuff to add into the game. I'm not making my own. Although I did use a program. I can't remember the name of it right now, but so pop sound effect generator, and I'm using that for all my sound effects in the game, and it's pretty good. It's not bad, especially for a small project like this. You should use it. And another asset I'm using is Master Audio AAA, just because this is something. All these assets I'm using are things that I haven't used before, so I'm using this as kind of a way to test them out as well as just practice my own skills. And this is, it's okay, I guess. Like for this game, I don't think it gave me any benefit than just using Unity's audio, because I think it's probably used for something a little bit more intensive than what we're doing, right? Like it has a lot of cool features, but I just didn't need any of those features, so it probably just took more time than it should have, because I had to learn how to use it. When if I just used Unity's audio system, this would have been super quick. But anyway, I learned how to use it, and it is a good tool. I just didn't need it for this project, I think, and I'm just kind of not using my time correctly, I think, at this stage. But we're getting there. But now that I have the menus and the sounds out of the way, I can really focus on improving the game mechanics. So what you're going to see here now is this a break? Am I taking a break? Yeah. So I'm showing the main menu. Oh, but I didn't show it playing. Come on, Aaron. Fucking hell. But anyway, so it's gotten way ahead to where I've been rambling. Because I have the main menus and the sounds done, I can now just focus completely on improving the game mechanics. So what I've done is I've added in some kind of not collectibles, what would you call them, like these kind of randomly spawning improvements, power-ups, I guess. Power-ups is probably the word I want to use. So yeah, so you were seeing one there drop down. It's a scaling power-up. So the explosion, so it would fall down and just scale the explosions up, which is a really nice effect, which probably could bring me on to like another huge benefit I've done for this game is using scriptable objects. So a scriptable object is like a it's a script that doesn't need to exist within the hierarchy of Unity. Is probably the best way to put it. So what you can have is I created a scriptable object that would store float variables. So it's kind of like creating global variables that you can access easily and edit easily. And that's what I've done with all of the variables within this game. I'm storing them all the variables within these scriptable objects. And what that does is allows you to easily mutate those variables and then have every other object within the game know about that instantly without having to have everything linked up and connected within the hierarchy. A good example, I could set the explosion scale within player prefs, for example, and then everything would have access to that, right? But what you would need to do is you would need to be everything that uses the explosion scale that wants to know about it would then have to it would have to be constantly getting from player pref just in case it changes, because you don't know if it's changed or not, so you have to constantly get it. But if I just have the scriptable object attached, the change is instant and there is no need to do any gets or anything like that. The hierarchy or the project just knows this variable equals this. So to do a scale like that, all you need to do is have a coroutine, which actually that was it on the screen there for a second. All you need to do is have a coroutine that sets the number to X and then wait a couple of seconds and then sets it back to what it was originally. And such a great thing to do. And I did it with everything. I did it with bullet speed. I did it with reload time, the max ammo you can have at any point, and it just made all of these upgrades just so much easier to do. And it was really probably my biggest takeaway from this was scriptable objects, and I was really happy with it. So I think right now is we're moving on to the upgrades. So I really wanted to make this like a full feature game, right? So we have some kind of progression in here. So you can use your score to store in a wallet that will let you buy upgrades, and the upgrades are something like your initial explosion scale, max ammo, obviously, missile speed, and reload time. So and I'm trying to figure out as well the difficulty curve of the game. So when you have like an upgradable tree, you want the initial game to be difficult enough that they want those upgrades, right? You need the upgrades to get a higher score, but also you don't want it to be too hard that they can't even play the game to get into it. So you have to think about like, how long do you want them to play? How long do you want that very first play to last before it gets too difficult, right? So that was what was going through my head. And then in the other direction, how long do you want the opposite? Like how easy do you want the game to get if you have all the upgrades? So that's what's going through my head as I'm doing these upgrades, and I'm trying to get this balance right of how difficult I want it to be, and that's what is happening in the last 2 hours of the game. The last couple more than 2 hours. I've been doing it for quite a while. I do it for quite a while, maybe 5 hours. I think I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm really so that's what I'm trying to get. I think right now we're doing icons for the upgrade menu. That's what you're seeing here. Not an artist, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. No idea how to do most I'm really just learning how to do A-Sprite right now, which I really love, but not efficient at it by any means right now. But trying to figure it out. And that's pretty much it. We'll keep watching to get to the end of the video, but I think I've covered everything I need to cover. I'll have to rewatch this to see how it goes, because I don't know how this is gonna go, but I don't know what's happening right now. It's going a bit crazy. I'm going wild with the testing. With the bullets falling down. Wow. I don't think I went over all of the upgrades. I think all of the power-ups that fall down. There's the scaling one, which you've seen. There's a healing one that'll heal you if you have damage, and then there's an infinite ammo one. So you get that one and you can just like spam shoot like crazy. That's quite nice. But we end up with an empty project. We've only 15 minutes left. Can you make it? I make it. I do make it. I finished the game. Oh, the only feature that I haven't talked about actually is that I wanted to add a little bit of diversity to the bullets coming down, so I've added a bomb that drops, just a drop straight down that I haven't shown. I forgot to show it. I should have had another final break in here of the end product of the game, which I think I'm probably going to cut and show you right now. So the video is going to be a little bit longer. So say hello to Alan in the future for me, because yeah, I gotta tip on. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, cheers. Hello, welcome back. That was quite the journey, I'm sure. If anybody's still watching this, I commend you for sticking it out this long. This is a long video, definitely the longest video I've ever made, that's for sure. But the last thing to do now, I guess, is to show you the finished product and to see how it ended up. So what I've done is I've uploaded it to itch. I've got a WebGL build here, so we can just play it directly from the website. Yeah, and let's have a look and see how it turned out. A final thing to see how it turned out. One thing about, and this is going to be a link down below, so you can then try out this game as well if you want. But one thing I can say about the WebGL build in particular is that you need to have hardware acceleration enabled if you want to. Let me lower this down a little bit. I don't know how it sounds for you guys, but it's quite loud for me. Yeah, you need hardware acceleration enabled, so if you don't want to do that, then if you don't want to enable hardware acceleration, then I'll have an exe as well. You can download that, and hopefully that all works out nicely. But yeah, this is the game. You know, we have some nice sci-fi music. We've got little explosion sounds and shooty sounds. We've got things coming down. The idea is you click ahead of the missiles and then you try to make them go into your explosions, is the idea. You can see let's die. We have our menu pop up. We can buy upgrades as we like. We can restart. We can quit. This just takes us to the main menu, and then the main menu is the thing that took me a long time to make, where the game kind of plays itself. I think it looks cool, like in the beginning, but he's not very good at playing. And go on, you got it. You got him. It's not very good at playing, and the longer you let this ride, it just get a bit of a mess. But yeah, that's it. I'll make sure to remove this FPS counter as well. I was curious about how it runs, and it runs absolutely fine on once you have hardware acceleration enabled. But that's it. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. If you like this, give me some feedback, because you know this was a lot of fun, and I might do it again. As well as I know I originally designed this to go on mobile, but it just takes so long to get it on mobile. So if this video gets any kind of traction and anybody wants me to do that, I'll do it. But if no one cares, then I'm not going to bother, because you know, whatever, what's the point? But yeah, thanks guys. If you want to see more of this, let me know, and maybe give me a wee like and subscribe as well, please. Cheers, thank you.